Now moving on to, I think, again, the best thing about this phone for sure, which, as I said before, is definitely the software. I think the camera's probably the number one thing too, but this software on this phone is so good, and I always talk about it all the time. It's stock Android. It literally, it does everything that you want it to and then some. So this thing started off with Android 7.1. You did end up getting Android 10.0 on it, and I talked about this phone a lot last year on the Android 10 update. And this is basically what I'll tell you. I think Android 10 is a solid version of software for this thing to end off. I think Android 11 was a pretty good improvement too. Android 12 is looking to be a pretty big improvement on top of that. But here's the thing. You can get a custom ROM, you can root this thing, and gain so much more capability beyond than what this phone actually ended off on stock. So when you look at a lot of other phones, especially Samsung's, you're pretty much only getting whatever they give you. In this case, a lot of third-party developers will continue to keep supporting this device for years and years on end because it's a stock Google phone. It's super easy to root this thing a custom ROM, and a lot of people still want to pick it up. When you look at phones like the Nexus 4, the Galaxy Nexus, there are still people developing ROMs for that thing on like Android 11 or Android 12 in the future. And if you think about it, if those phones get it, this phone is 100% going to get it. So that for sure is a humongous reason to pick up this phone. It's the software in and of itself. But on top of that, as I mentioned before, another pretty big thing about this phone is that it does have that pretty big size battery at that time too, a 3450 mAh battery. And as I said before, that is a really good size battery to have on that device. And again, as I mentioned before, this thing came out in 2016. I understand like a lot more phones have much better, battery life now and battery sizes, but at that time, it's a solid thing for sure. And I really do think that is one of the best things about this phone for sure is, the software and the battery. So in terms of that, I'll definitely say I love this phone because of those things, and it's a strong asset and, strong contributor for sure. Now, when